Hey everyone, this is Kayla with Stampin'. Before anything else, I'm so excited to show you this card that we are going to be making today in this 5-minute video. I hope you enjoy it, so let's get started. To make the card, what you're going to need is the Forever Fern stamp set. You also need the coordinating greenery embossing folder, and so there's actually 2 embossing folders that come with this. So we're going to be using this embossing folder, but there also is this embossing folder that comes with it. And you see that they're a little bit smaller than our typical sized embossing folders. That's because these will fit in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So you'll need those. You also need a piece of Designer Series paper measured at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You also need your card base, which is going to be 11 inches by 5 1/4, scored right in the middle at 5 1/2. You're gonna need the Pretty Peacock ink, and then your Stampin' trimmer, a pencil, and the Stampin' seal. So let's get started. To start off, we're gonna take our card base and we're gonna use the Stampin' trimmer. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna fold it in half, and then I'm gonna find the middle point at the top of the card. And so this is 4 1/4, so this middle point is gonna be 2 1/8. So what I do to make sure that it's even is I'll line it up right against the line so I could still see where my measurements are. And I'm just gonna mark right at the 2 1/4. Doesn't need to be a big mark, just something that you could see where that middle point is. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unfold it. I'm going to match the corner of my card into that cutting track, and then when I close it, make sure that your blades aren't on the cardstock because that wouldn't be good. We're gonna line it up in the scoring track, and then we're gonna find the dot where I made my half point, and we're gonna fit it right in the middle of the track. So make sure those 2 points are lined up, and then we're gonna cut to the point. And you want to make sure you don't go too far. So I could see that, oh, I'm almost there, so I can just keep going a little bit more, and then it looks like I got to that middle point. And then I'm going to do the same on the other corner. Now after that's done, your piece will look like this. Don't get rid of this yet, we're still going to use it. So when you fold it over and you take your Designer Series paper, you should be able to fit it in perfectly, and what we'll do is we will eventually adhere that to this. But before we do that, I'm going to move my trimmer, and I'm going to actually emboss both of these sides using that greenery embossing folder that I was talking about. So I'll be right back. Now that I'm done embossing the card base, what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to go back to our triangle piece and bring in my Stampin' trimmer. So in order to get that middle part where it says hello, remember we got the middle part right here, it'll say hello. What I did is I actually, you're like, Kayla, how the heck am I gonna make sure that I get a straight line when I'm cutting this triangle? So what I did actually was I lined it up. To cut this piece, what I do is I actually cut it at the 2 1/4 mark and at the 1 3/4 mark. To ensure I'm doing that, making sure I'm getting a straight line, I make sure that my edge is completely lined up all the way down. So that way I make sure I'm getting a straight cut. And then when you're done, your piece should look like this in 3 different sections. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that middle piece, and it's gonna fit right in the middle of my card where I can put my hello. But before we do that, before we assemble the card, what I'm gonna do is I am going to stamp hello in Pretty Peacock right in the center. And now we are ready to assemble our card. To finish things off, I'm going to add some rhinestone basic jewels to each side of the hello. And there you go. That is the quick 5-minute card that you can make for just a greeting to anybody you would like. You could put the sentiment whatever sentiment you would like on the inside. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe so that way you can see more projects like this. All of the measurements for this card will be included on our blog. We'll have a link of that in the video description below. But overall, I hope you enjoy this card and we will see you next time. Bye!